If you have an implicit theory of identity, like the one that seems to be increasingly dominating the cultural landscape, which is identity is something that's only subjectively determined and can also change from moment to moment, then you're misleading people as they develop, because they come up with a very unsophisticated notion of what identity is. And that's
Right.
not good, because that's core. And part of your identity is your value to other people. It's not subjective. That's other people make that decision. But if you have to use force to get people to comply, it is a sign that you're not playing a very good game. If you deceive yourself repeatedly, you mess up your identity, you mess up the neurology for that matter. It no longer produces outputs that map on well to the world. What that'll mean is that your interest starts to become pathologized, and the errors are an indication that your theory is incomplete. Another identity starts to become formulated, and it solves all the problems your previous identity did, but also some additional ones. It's a danger that we'll lose that as we lose our religious traditions, because that presupposition of transcendent equality, which is a very strange proposition. Equality is a value, and so we assume that everyone has a transcendent value, and that transcendent value is of equal value. And great, that makes everyone sovereign. That's the source of your natural rights. It's the reason that culture has to respect you as a sovereign individual. The demand for diversity and equality are in terrible and irreconcilable conflict with one another. It's like, if diversity means anything, it means important difference. And if important difference means anything, it means inequality. What's your plan to live with these people? Since they're your neighbors and your family and it's half the population, what's your plan for these contemptible people? I watched little children play, and what they're doing, they're attempting to grow forward, but they toy with identities. They find an identity that suits them, that other people also accept. Because your identity has to be something that other people accept, or it isn't going to work for you. But your identity is not just how you feel about yourself at this moment. And you can't impose that on other people, because they don't know how to deal with that. Like, even if they wanted to, they wouldn't know the rules of the game. Jung believed that you were likely to become interested in things that furthered your development, furthered your psychological development, made you more and more competent. So for example, you might get interested, you might really come to admire someone, and so what they do grabs your interest. And so the interest is something that grabs you to move you forward on the developmental curve. Music speaks of the continual harmony of what would you say, the balance of opposing forces, something like that. And it constantly changes and moves within a domain. You want to pursue that kind of harmonious balance, but the tension can never be entirely resolved, because creative achievement can undermine order, but order degenerates without being updated, and creative achievement updates.